section of ray optics. In my last class, I have told you reflection of light at the plane mirrors. In this class, we will try to understand what are spherical mirrors. See, I have told you a mirror is any object which can reflect the light. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಟ್ಸ್ ನ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೋ ಅವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಿರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯುವುದು. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಮಿರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ a spherical mirror is the part of a sphere. Spherical mirror is the part of a sphere of which one surface is reflecting and the other is opaque. This is the definition of a spherical mirror. So, a spherical mirror is the part of a sphere. See, a spherical mirror is just part of a sphere of which one surface is made reflecting and the other is opaque. Suppose this is a sphere. Suppose this is a sphere. This will be a part of the sphere AB. See, this portion AB is part of a sphere. ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಮಿರರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಿರರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ becomes a mirror when one of its face is made reflecting and the another is made opaque. So, ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನ ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಡೋದು. See, this is a part of this sphere whose one face is made reflecting and the other face is made opaque. Such a mirror is called as a spherical mirror. So, spherical mirror is a part of a sphere. Complete sphere spherical mirror alla. Sphere ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದು part ಅಷ್ಟೇ spherical mirror. So, spherical mirror is part of a sphere whose one face is made reflecting. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಈ part ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದು face reflecting ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು face opaque ಇರಬೇಕು. So, whose one face is reflecting and the other is opaque. Such a mirror is called as a spherical mirror. These spherical mirrors are of two types. There are two types of spherical mirrors. One is concave mirror and the another is convex mirror. Concave mirror and the convex mirror. These are the two types of spherical mirrors. So we will try to understand what is meant by concave mirror. See, concave mirror and convex mirror are the types of spherical mirrors. Suppose if this is a sphere, we know part of a sphere whose one side is made reflecting and the other side is made opaque is called as a spherical mirror. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನ ನಾವು spherical mirror ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. See, this is a sphere and let this be the center of the sphere. C is the center of the sphere. Concave mirror ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, a concave mirror is a part of a sphere whose reflecting surface is towards the center of the sphere. See, this is center of this sphere. Suppose this is the reflecting surface. ಇದು ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒಪೆಕ್. ಈಗ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ? ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್. ಸಚ್ ಅ ಮಿರರ್ whose reflecting surface is towards the center of the sphere is called as a concave mirror. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒಪೆಕ್. ಒಪೆಕ್ ರೀಜನ್ ನಾವು ಈ ರೀತಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಕೇವ್ ಮಿರರ್ ನ ಈ ರೀತಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Concave mirror is just part of a sphere whose reflecting surface is towards the center of the sphere. Now, I can construct an imaginary sphere. This is reflecting surface surface is towards the center of the sphere is called as concave mirror. So we'll define it. A concave mirror is a spherical mirror. Concave mirror is a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is towards the center of the sphere. Okay. Such a mirror is called as a concave mirror. This is center of the sphere. This is reflecting surface. Reflecting surface normally it is towards the center of the sphere. On the other hand, convex mirror is a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is away from the center of the sphere. Suppose this is a sphere and let this be the center of the sphere. We know a part of a sphere whose one side is made reflecting and the other is made opaque is called as a spherical mirror. Suppose this is the part of a sphere. ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ reflecting ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡ್ರಿ, convex mirror ನಾಗೆ. A convex mirror is a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is away from the center of the sphere. This is center of the sphere. This must be the reflecting surface. This must be the reflecting surface. And this must be opaque. So a convex mirror looks like this. This will be the reflecting surface. And this will be opaque. This will be opaque. Okay. See, if I construct an imaginary sphere here, this will be the imaginary sphere, and this will be the center of that sphere. See, the reflecting surface is away from the center of the sphere. Center of the sphere in the but such a mirror whose reflecting surface is away from the center of the sphere is called as a convex mirror. See, concave mirror is also called converging mirror. Concave mirror is also called converging mirror. We'll understand why it is called converging mirror in our later classes. Convex mirror is also called diverging mirror. Diverging mirror. So, concave mirror can be called as converging mirror and convex mirror can be called as diverging mirror. This is regarding concave and convex mirror. So, in case of concave mirror, reflecting surface will be towards the center of the sphere, and in case of convex mirror, reflecting surface will be away from the center of the sphere. This is all regarding spherical mirror and types of spherical mirror. So, go through what is spherical mirror, what are the two types of spherical mirror, go through their definitions. Concave mirror ಹೇಗೆ define ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, convex mirror ಹೇಗೆ define ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. This is regarding the brief introduction about spherical mirrors. With respect to these spherical mirrors, we need to learn some terminology. There are some important terms which we need to know about these spherical mirrors, and these terminology become important to understand the concepts that come after all these things. Okay. So, some important terms. See, these are the terminologies associated with the spherical mirror. Okay. Suppose this is a sphere. Suppose this is a sphere and this is the part of a sphere. Let us suppose this surface is made reflecting and this is made opaque. So this will be a concave mirror. Okay. We will first understand what is meant by center of curvature. Center of curvature. See, center of curvature is the center of the sphere. Center of curvature is the center of the sphere of which given mirror is a part. ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಮಿರರ್ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಯದೋ ಆ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. See, this is the mirror given to us. AB is the mirror given to us. This AB is part of this sphere. AB is part of this sphere. E sphere the center. This is the center of the sphere. Idanne now we call it as center of curvature. It is called as center of curvature. See, center of curvature is the center of the sphere of which given mirror is a part. ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಮಿರರ್ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೋ ಆ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ನಾವು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ given mirror is a of which given mirror is a part, and center of curvature is generally represented by capital C. Okay, so this is a sphere of which our mirror is a part. Okay, so the center of that sphere of which our mirror is a part is called as center of curvature. After understanding center of curvature, we need to understand what is meant by pole of a spherical mirror. See, pole of a spherical mirror is the center of the spherical mirror. See, this is the spherical mirror AB. Is spherical mirror the center here? This is the center of the spherical mirror. This is called as pole. This is called as pole. Nodri, center of the sphere of which mirror is a part is called center of curvature. Is sphere the center ಏನದಲ್ಲ ಅದು center of curvature. Is spherical mirror the center ಏನದಲ್ಲ that is called pole. Pole is center of spherical mirror. Pole is center of spherical mirror. So center of curvature ಮತ್ತೆ pole ಗೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Center of curvature is center of the sphere of which mirror is a part. Pole is the center of the spherical mirror. ಈ spherical mirror ಅದಲ್ಲ AB, ಇದರದ್ದು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಗೆ pole ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Next, you need to understand what is meant by radius of curvature. See, radius of curvature is just the distance between pole and the center of curvature. Pole in the center of curvature ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರೋ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು radius of curvature ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So radius of curvature is the distance between pole and center of curvature. Radius of curvature is the distance between pole and center of curvature of the mirror. ಇದರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರೋ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನ radius of curvature ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಈ ರೀತಿನೂ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Radius of curvature is the radius of the sphere. ನೋಡಿ, ಈ sphere ದ radius ಏನಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು radius of curvature ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು. Radius of curvature is the radius of the sphere of which our mirror is a part. ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಆ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಾರ್ದು. ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಮಿರರ್, ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಮಿರರ್ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಮಿರರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. Suppose if this sphere is this mirror is part of sphere X. If this mirror is part of sphere X, the radius of the sphere of which given mirror is a part is called as radius of curvature. How to define ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? Or you can very simply define radius of curvature as distance between pole and center of curvature of the mirror. After this, you need to define center of curvature, pole. Okay, we will define linear aperture. Linear aperture. See, what is meant by linear aperture ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ linear aperture is the diameter of circular periphery of the spherical mirror. See, this is the spherical mirror. ಈ spherical mirror diameter ನೋಡಬಹುದು. circular periphery diameter. This one. The diameter of the circular periphery of the spherical mirror is called as linear aperture. The diameter of circular xy is the diameter of the circular periphery. This diameter of the circular periphery of the spherical mirror is called as linear aperture. Okay. ಈ aperture to significance ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is the only space where reflection can be observed. ನೋಡಿ ಇದಿಷ್ಟೊಳಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. If light is incident here, gets reflected. If light is incident here, gets reflected. If light is incident here, gets reflected. So on. ಅಂದ್ರೆ this is the area available for reflection. ಇದರಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ light passes, doesn't get reflected. ಇದರಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ light passes along straight line, doesn't get reflected. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ light gets reflected. So this is the area available for reflection. Aperture is the area available for reflection. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, this is a circular periphery, this is a concave mirror, and even this is a concave mirror. This is one and this is concave mirror 2. Here I will measure the linear aperture and here I will measure the linear aperture. This is xy and this is mn. It can be observed that mn is greater than xy. mn is greater than xy. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೆ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಇರೋ ಏರಿಯಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದೇ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ in case of concave mirror 2 the area available for reflection is more, right? ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಏರಿಯಾ ನಾಗ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ only reflection can be observed in this area. So aperture indicates the area available for reflection of light. Okay, so linear aperture define ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the diameter of the circular periphery of a spherical mirror is called as linear aperture. Similarly, you may be asked to define angular aperture. Angular aperture. Angular aperture is the angle subtended. Angular aperture is the angle subtended by the circular periphery. Circular periphery at the center of curvature of the mirror. The center of curvature of the mirror. See, angular aperture is defined as angle subtended by the circular periphery at the center of curvature of the mirror. Now, this is the spherical mirror. This is circular spherical mirror, and this can be considered. So the angular aperture is defined as angle subtended by circular periphery at the center of the curvature. See, this is the circular periphery of the spherical mirror. This circular periphery subtends some angle theta at the center of curvature. This is the angle subtended by circular periphery at the center of curvature. This angle subtended by the circular periphery at the center of curvature of the spherical mirror is called as angular aperture. See, in this case, this is a concave mirror, and if I construct an imaginary sphere, this will be the center of the curvature of the sphere, right? This is circular periphery. The angle subtended by the circular periphery at the center of curvature is called as angular aperture, right? See, in this case the angular aperture is more, and in this case the angular aperture is less. You can just see the linear aperture and decide the angular aperture. Okay, so this is regarding linear and angular apertures. After understanding what is center of curvature, what is pole, radius of curvature, linear and angular apertures, we will try to understand what is meant by principal axis. principal axis is a straight line passing through center of curvature and pole of the mirror. Suppose this is a sphere of which this part is a mirror, right? Suppose this is a mirror. The center of the spherical mirror is called as pole. Center of the sphere is called as center of curvature. A straight line that is passing through center of curvature and pole is called as principal axis. This is called principal axis. So principal axis is a straight line passing through center of curvature and pole of the mirror. So principal axis is a straight line passing through center of curvature and pole of the spherical mirror. Right? This is principal axis. After understanding principal axis, we will try to understand what are paraxial rays. See, paraxial rays are the rays which are very close to the principal axis. The rays of light which are very close to the principal axis are called as paraxial rays. The rays of light which are very close to the principal axis are called paraxial rays. See the significance of paraxial rays. Suppose this is a spherical mirror. The center of the spherical mirror is called as pole. Here will be the center of curvature. If you construct an imaginary sphere, this will be the center of the sphere. Center of the sphere of which mirror is a part is called center of curvature. A line that passes through center of curvature and pole is called as principal axis. This will be the principal axis. The rays of light which are very close to the principal axis are called as paraxial rays. See, this is a ray of light which is close to the principal axis. Even this is a ray of light which is very close to the principal axis. Note, principal axis and ray of light madhya distance, it is very small. So this is a ray of light which is very close to principal axis, and even this is a ray of light which is very close to principal axis. Such rays of light which are very close to principal axis are called as paraxial rays. And you can observe the paraxial rays make very small angle with the principal axis. ಈ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ರೇಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಅದರ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನಲ್ ರೇಸ್. Marginal rays are exactly opposite to paraxial rays. Marginal rays are the rays of light which are at large distance from the principal axis. Principal axis ಇಂದ ಬಹಳ ದೂರ ಇರೋ ರೇಸ್ ನ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನಲ್ ರೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೇ. This is a marginal ray. This is a marginal ray because this ray is at large distance from the principal axis. The principal axis in the ray madhya distance ನೋಡಿ. It is quite large, and you can also observe marginal rays make large angle with the principal axis. Marginal rays make large angle with the principal axis. On the other hand, paraxial rays make small angle with the principal axis. They make small angle with principal axis. And marginal rays make large angle with principal axis. Throughout ray optics, we will be considering only the paraxial rays. We will be dealing only with those rays which are passing very close to the principal axis. Principal axis in the dura iro rays na ನಾವು discussion ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Throughout ray optics, the rays which we consider are the paraxial rays. That means these are the rays which are very close to the principal axis and they make very small angle with the principal axis. Suppose if this is a spherical mirror, center of the mirror is called pole. This will be center of curvature, line passing through center of curvature and pole is called principal axis. We will be considering only those rays which are very close to the principal axis. Such rays which are very close to principal axis and make very small angle with the principal axis. Principal axis rays, they make very small angles. Such rays are called paraxial rays and we will be considering only paraxial rays in our discussion. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ paraxial rays paraxial rays make very small angle with the principal axis. ಈ small angle approximation ಬಂದಾಗ you need to remember this. Small angle approximation. When I say the angles are small, the angle will be tending to 0. When I say small angles, the angle tends to 0. Under this condition, sin theta becomes nearly equal to theta and tan theta becomes nearly equal to theta, but not cos theta. That doesn't become equal to theta. Cos theta will not be equal to theta. When theta tends to 0 or when theta is almost 0, sin theta will be equal to theta. Cos theta will be, tan theta will be nearly equal to theta and cos theta will not be equal to theta. Again, if theta is approaching 0, you can write what is sin 0. What is sin 0 degree? Sin 0 degree is 0. So, sin theta is nearly equal to theta. This was theta. Sin theta is equal to what is this? Even this is theta. Right? So, as long as angles are very small, you can always write sin theta is nearly equal to theta. Even tan 0 degree is 0. Again, tan theta is equal to theta. The small angle approximation. But this is not true for cos. What is cos 0? Cos 0 is 1. Here you cannot conclude that if this is theta, is this theta? Is this theta? Idu 0 bandidre cos 0 ಅಥವಾ cos theta is equal to theta ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದಿತ್ತು, but that is not the case. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿರೋದು cos theta is not equal to theta if theta is tending to 0. So in case of small angle approximation, ಯಾವಾಗ small angle approximation ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Small angle approximation can be considered when we are studying about paraxial rays. So in paraxial rays, theta will be tending to 0. Under such condition, you can always write sin theta as nearly equal to theta and tan theta as nearly equal to theta. Okay, cos theta is not nearly equal to theta, right? So this is regarding paraxial rays and the marginal rays, right? In our next class, we will study how to draw normals to spherical surfaces. We'll study about principal focus. We'll understand what is meant by focal length and we'll understand what is meant by focal plane, and then we will understand what are Cartesian sign conventions. Thank you.